Welcome to Inside Boxing Throwdown. I'm Aurelio Martinez, Steve Johnson, and this week we're going to talk about Timothy Bradley, his upcoming fight with Brandon Rios, the problems he's had with his coaching staff and his training staff and the whole bit. But this basically we're going to talk about Timothy Bradley. Where's Timothy Bradley? Steve, Timothy Bradley's been around a while. He's actually made it to win some championships. Yet he's not an icon like your other champions, like your Pacquiao's and all that. And Timothy Bradley himself believes he's right up there with them, but doesn't get that recognition. Let's talk about Timothy Bradley and some of the recent happenings with Timothy.
Well, I'll kick it back to you in a second, but I know that Timothy Bradley, probably the number one problem with him, Aurelio, is that he's just not fan friendly. I mean, there's not much, when you watch a Bradley fight, you give him credit because he comes to fight, and that's what makes this fight very intriguing, is because Brandon Rios and Timothy Bradley, we know they're going to fight. There's no shenanigans here. They're going to come straight and fight, which is going to be great for fans. But when I say fan friendly himself, there's nothing about when you say Timothy Bradley where people say, oh,
Yeah.
Usually it's, oh. And it's just that he has that big heart. Originally it used to be, he has the big heart. He has, his family thing with he and his wife, Monica. Remember that he married her. They were young, when they were young kids, they were sweethearts, but then, separate. And then she, got married and had a couple of kids.
Yep.
And then they get back together. And for any man that takes on, another man's duties, and he actually adopted her two kids.
Yep.
You have to really have it in for him. I mean, that's the part I like about him, is that he's a man. But as of lately, his wife now is his manager. They fired his old trainer, Joel Diaz, who was his longtime trainer, and I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, it's not without controversy, and Steve, I'm with you on the part of managing the scenario, when these boxers somehow give them duties of management to their wives. Okay, now I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because they feel they can have full control of their boxing career. I mean, Sugar Shane Mosley did it.
Mm-hmm.
Donito Donaire did it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Our own Denver Max Gomez did the same thing.
they all did it, but for some reason, it very seldom pans out. It has that same backlash as father training son.
Exactly.
There's just some things that a son and a father are not going to see eye to eye because they're son and father in a fight scene.
In the long run.
And the same thing here. So now he has Monica, his wife, taking on the duties of management. And one of the first things she did was have the problems with Joel Diaz, who was Timothy's trainer. I think his only trainer, if I'm not mistaken.
So. I believe so.
But you got someone that brings you up, and then you start making these little excuses. Well, he's not giving Timothy the attention. Timothy's saying he's not giving me the attention I need, and blah blah. Well, he has a stable of fighters he has to take care of.
Exactly.
And I mean, obviously, I don't know, but that's one of the things that I see that always has the detouring effect in a boxer's career.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Timothy, of course, is coming toward the end of his career, age-wise, every wise, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, as far as his popularity with the public, he's not popular with the public, and he's done everything he can possibly do. And I don't think you can fault Joel, his trainer, for that. I don't think you can fault. It's just his style and his actions and demeanor in the ring are not one that's popular with the fans out there. I mean, it's just not. I mean, for some reason, it never has been. And then it didn't help him when he was given the gift of a win over Pacquiao.
Yes.
And obviously, everybody in the world saw that. I mean, it wasn't even close enough. So, I mean, and then he carried that on. I went back, I saw the replay. I think, leave it alone. It's over with. Leave it alone. But anyhow, now he's going in, and I want to talk. We'll talk about the fight now, okay? But I want to save some time in this episode to talk about Teddy Atlas, whom he picked as his trainer, okay? We'll talk about that. But let's talk about the fight itself, okay? Brandon Rios and Timothy Bradley, how they match up. I think they match up very good. They're both bangers, okay? And this one here, I'm kind of at the edge. I have a hard time picking a winner. You know, naturally Timothy Bradley's the favorite. He's been in there with better opposition. He's he just has to be the favorite. I mean, I think if you look, you'll see that he turns out to be the favorite. But in my case, I see it as these two fighters that come, they bang, they're not going to take a step back, and they both bang. Timothy hits with a lot of power, with a lot of force. He comes in, not a lot of knockout power, but he comes in action packed. Okay. Brandon Rios the same thing. He's not going to back away. Brandon Rios is one of them guys that, you know, I'm going to take a hit to give a hit.
Oh yeah.
So I think we're going to see a very good fight. Now, I'm going to have to favor the underdog Brandon Rios myself a bit, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Timothy always gets shaken up when he gets hit on the chin, and he gets them wobbly legs, and he gets hurt. Brandon Rios is the kind of guy that if that happens, he knows how to continue the action. He knows how to go in there and finish the job.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking. Now, how do you see the fight?
Well, you know me. I'm always looking at this point in time, I look at size. Brandon Rios will have a 2-inch height advantage, 5'8" to 5'6", over Timothy Desert Storm Bradley. I see that. Brandon Rios is 29, Bradley's 32. Bradley has by far, I think if you look at the resume, his resume is by far better than Brandon Rios.
Oh yeah.
Brandon Rios' 2 fights against Alvarado, his fight against Pacquiao, you know, Richard Abreu. Those are really his claim to fame. Like you said, Timothy Bradley's been around for a while. My concern with the fight, well, let me say first of all, I like Timothy Bradley in the fight. Okay.
Yeah.
But my concern is that we've seen Bradley in the Pacquiao fight. You know, almost every fight he has. You know, even in the Vargas fight.
Yeah.
Once that fight hits the 10th, 11th, 12th rounds, he has a tendency to get hit.
Yeah.
You know, that wobbles his legs, that, you know, but then once again, he does know how to hold. Remember, he knows how to hold, and he can survive.
He does.
My number one concern besides that is Brandon Rios going to make weight? If you saw him when they had the first press conference and now in the fight, announcing the fight, boy, Brandon's heavy. There's no doubt he's been enjoying a good life, you know, and if he's going to be able to lose the weight to get down and make weight to 147, I would think right now he's weighing 170, every bit of 170. Well.
I hope not.
And if he can make weight, and then from then he's not so much drained that he can be competitive, it'll be a very entertaining fight. But first of all, he's got to make weight. That would be my first issue: is can he make weight? And then the second thing is that is he going to be able, from that weight loss, is he going to be able to hold on until the 10th, 11th, 12th rounds like everyone else, and then really test Bradley
and stay competitive? And stay competitive. So I think we're going to see a good fight. It's actually one well worth watching. I think everyone will enjoy that fight. It's going to be one of them fights, and
where's it at?
Possibly it's at the it's November 7th at the Thomas and Mack Center. As a matter of fact, we plan to be in Vegas and take care and cover that fight.
We're going to be there.
We're going to be there covering that fight. So we'll bring you some good information, some good shots. But I'll tell you what, it's just going to be one of them fights that you can't miss. It's going to be. I'm going to even say it could possibly be a candidate for fight of the year if both fighters, because none of them know how to take a step back. None of them are dancers. I mean, they just know how to go in there and fight, and that's what you're going to get. Okay?
Like you said, Brandon Rios, we know that he's not going to quit. Timothy Bradley's not going to quit.
Real quick. We got about a little over a minute left in this episode.
Okay.
Let's talk about Bradley's selection. You know, he fired Joel and hired Teddy Atlas. Now, Teddy Atlas has been a commentator on ESPN for many years, and of course, everyone remembers him from training Michael Moore and
Mike Tyson.
Well, I won't even give him credit for that. That was the other cousin, them guys that did Mike.
Yeah,
they get that. But anyhow, now he's coming out and going to get back into the corner and take on the duties of training Timothy Bradley. Obviously, he's going to get paid well because that's the only way you can bring him out. But I'll let you go first because I have mixed reactions on that whole thing.
Well, mine will be very brief. I don't like it. I don't like it, and I don't understand it. Okay, and that's all I can say is I don't like it and I don't understand it. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know, to change, like I said, from, you know, that old adage of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, what is that? What is, to be honest, what is Teddy Atlas going to bring to the table that's going to help Timothy Bradley, a guy who we both agree is on the downside of his career? What is he going to do?
I don't know. I just see Teddy Atlas as Teddy Atlas. I see him as a dominant individual. I'm not going to say trainer, coach, or analyst or anything, but dominant. And Teddy Atlas has to be right. Okay, don't object or take the other side of Teddy Atlas, because he'll slam you. I mean, Teddy Atlas is the kind of guy where he's never wrong, and that's where I see the conflict coming now. Is Timothy Bradley going to be able to sit there and absorb all this verbal abuse and other abuse of what you do? Because I don't know, at the age of 33, I don't know if you're going to change Timothy Bradley and show him how to do movement and defensive skills. I mean, he is what he is.
That's my point.
But anyhow.
But if what you said is true, then that means that Monica will have, she'll butt head with Teddy Atlas.
Real quick, because Teddy Atlas is not going to sit here and listen to Monica.
Okay.
It's not going to happen.
Okay.
And Timothy needs to understand that. He's given up that Teddy Atlas is not going to take second base to Monica. Is not going to take instructions from Monica. It's not going to happen. Okay. So anyhow, we'll be back with our next episode, where we're going to talk a little bit about Triple G and Andre Ward and that fiasco that's going on there. Is it for real? Is it going to happen? Is it just a bunch of lip service to get in the publicity? Mm-hmm. We'll come back and let you know. Okay. In the meantime,
hey,
keep your hands up.